Welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast, strategies that help entrepreneurs build reputable and profitable brands. Here's your host, Henry Kaminski Jr.
Is your content bingeable? That is today's question. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor Podcast episode for you guys on YouTube. Welcome. If this is a new video for you, welcome. If you've been part of the gang for a while, welcome back. Today, I really want to focus in on this particular topic of bingeable content. But before we get into that, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet to either the YouTube channel or the iTunes, hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure you hit that little bell to make sure that you get notified every time we come out with a new piece of content. Now, let's talk about bingeable content. What is bingeable content? So what I've been watching a lot of the bigger influencers do is create these little snippets of content that sort of leave you cliffhanging, right, for the next episode to populate. Think about Netflix, for example, how they structure their video content, their movie content on that platform. It's very easy to go 6 hours and destroy an entire season of You. It's a series that my wife and my sister-in-law are all about. Or there's another one called The Messiah. I mean, it's crazy how they lock you in and just make you want to watch episode after episode after episode. I'm a huge Star Wars guy. So when Disney Plus came out and I heard about the Mandalorian series, which was a huge, huge favorite of mine back when I was a kid. I love Boba Fett. He was my favorite. He was my favorite character almost in the Star Wars series. And I was watching the Mandalorian series and I could not stop watching it. I literally watched 8 episodes in 2 days. That's how much they had me hooked. And their cliffhangers at the end of every episode just made you want to just start the next one right away. So I'm seeing these bigger influencers doing this, and I'm saying to myself, I see a trend. I see something going on here that we need to start to implement right away. So my question for you guys today is your content bingeable? So let's talk about how to create a piece of bingeable content. And in my opinion, what are the strong elements in a bingeable piece of content? Say you're a coach, consultant, a person of influence that wants to build an audience on social media. So there's a couple of things that come to mind right away. I think one of the most important things when you are creating a piece of content is having a very strong hook. Okay? I'll give you a quick example. So when I put out content in my Instagram story, right, I'll start off with, hey, are you struggling with X? ? That's the hook. Okay? Or do you want better views on your YouTube channel? Do you want to grow your Instagram growth for business? ? That's the hook. That's what's going to bring them in or reel them in. So you have to have a strong hook. So how do you have a strong hook? Well, again, it goes back to really understanding who your audience is. What are their pain points? What are their struggles? What do they want from you? What do they not want from you? You'll see me on Instagram a lot talking to my audience and asking them questions. How can I make more relevant content for you? What are you struggling with this week? How can I help you solve those problems? And we get lists and lists and lists of questions. We'll take the good ones and we'll create content out of it. So one of the questions that I got a while back was creating more content. How do you stay motivated in creating content? What content do you create? How do you create it? And you don't have to get super fancy with this stuff, guys. You just have to have a really good, relevant topic with a strong hook that's going to bring them into the conversation. So now once they come in and you have their attention, you have to deliver the goods, and you have to deliver the goods fast. Okay. So don't get long-winded into, and I have a tendency to do this sometimes, but don't get long-winded into a backstory or, just fluff content. Just give them the goods. Notice how I did this with this video. I went right in, right? So deliver on your promise and get right into it. So if you're delivering on a promise where you're teaching someone how to do bingeable content or create bingeable content, get right into the crux of it right away. Okay. So I would identify the elements of a great piece of X. So what I'm doing here. So the hook has to grab them. Otherwise you lost them. Okay. Second, you have to deliver your promise. And third, don't be afraid to leave them hanging and wanting for more. That's it right there. If you fade to black and the call to action to be don't miss next week's episode. This is not new. This isn't new stuff. But I don't see much people doing this. I don't see a lot of people doing this in their marketing. And the people that are doing it in their marketing and in their content, they're crushing it because they're creating a bingeable moment for their audience. And, I see a lot of people. I was watching this video yesterday. I'm not going to lie. Every minute, this person was like, oh yeah. And in this video, and they would point up and there'd be a little video thumbnail that would pop up. And they did that 6 times in a 10-minute video. And I started to get really annoyed because it was very distracting. Yeah, I get it. You have a lot of content, but it's really annoying because it kept blocking and stopping my focus, right? Even though it was a split second, it was annoying. So what I would have rather have seen the person do was create such a cliffhanger at the end, right? That and then give me on the end card on the YouTube video, right? Give me that next video to consume. I would have much rather I would have enjoyed that video way more than constantly getting distracted with her pointing up and going, oh, check this video, check that video. Now her content's great. I love the content, but that was very distracting. So to each his own, right? Whatever works for you. But at the end of the day, what I want you to get out of this video is think about the bingeable moments you could create in your content. How do you keep their interest? How do you keep them at the edge of their seat? How do you keep them excited? How do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them entertained? This is how we do it in 2020. Okay? So before you put out another piece of content, ask yourself, is this hook strong enough? Is this really going to stop somebody in their tracks or stop somebody mid-scroll? Am I delivering value? Am I really putting out a piece of content that somebody's going to be able to take and run with and do something with it and actually solve a problem? And then, am I leaving them hanging? I know some people are going to hate this, but am I going to leave them hanging and wanting more? Do those 3 things. Try that out and see what happens. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Drop some comments and questions below. Let me know if this is helpful. If it wasn't, I want to know as well, because I want to make sure that I'm creating great content for you that's going to help you build a profitable and reputable brand. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care.
You've been listening to the Brand Doctor Podcast with Henry Kaminski Jr. To get your appointment with the doctor, visit Brand Audit at www.uniquedesigns.net.